So my baby actually got up at 4:30 in the morning. He's usually quite a good sleeper, but this morning he decided that he wanted to play and sing very early. So he's now finally asleep and I'm quite tired. So I'm going to make a cappuccino. Now, cappuccino is something which is very traditionally Italian. I love it. And I'm going to make one for Giacomo behind the camera as well, because he didn't sleep much tonight, although he didn't tell me why. Probably don't want to know. And it's something that in Italy you get told off a lot for doing it incorrectly. And I know a lot of my clients... Sorry, I have to get the exact right amount in here. I know a lot of my clients ask for cappuccino after lunch, and it drives a lot of locals nuts when people do that. But I'll tell you a secret. I actually have cappuccino all through the day, and I know a lot of Italians that do that. So screw them. Screw the people that tell you off. Although having it just after lunch, I think, is the main problem that a lot of Italians have with it. Now, today I want to tell you a little bit about a legend surrounding the invention of cappuccino. E qui parte la musichetta, giusto? So we can already record in the 17th century the name kind of been thrown around of a Franziskaner or a Kaputziner around Vienna and in Trieste as well in Italy, where there was some Viennese coffee houses. There was, we record the fact that people were drinking this. And we think, well, we're sure that the name comes from Franciscan monks and Cappuccino monks, because cappuccino is actually the name of a kind of monk, or friar rather. Friar comes from the word brother, fratello in Italian, because there is a suborder of Franciscan monks of the order founded by Saint Francis, a suborder which are called the Cappuccino monks. Now the Cappuccino monks are called Cappuccino because of the cappuccio. The cappuccio is a hood. So basically they're wearing a kind of a hoodie, like a mantle with a hood. And so we call them the Cappuccinos because they wear a cappuccio. And then the drink is named after the Cappuccino monks, and the Franciscaner, which was kind of like a little bit another version of the cappuccino, is named after the Franciscan monks. Okay, why? Have you ever seen how they shave their heads like the Franciscan monks? And the Cappuccino monks, they leave an amount of hair going around like this, and they shave just the middle. So if you look at it from above, you see like this brown circle around a kind of a white head. And that's kind of what a cappuccino looks like, right? There's like the dark coffee mark going around, and then there's the white of the foam in the middle. Now the foam is a later invention, obviously, because we didn't have the machines to create the foam until fairly recently. And also milk, adding milk was something that we've only introduced since refrigeration. In fact, the use of milk and cream inside coffee, for this it comes from places which are colder, because like in Tuscany where I live today, actually I live in Umbria now, but don't tell the tourists. In central Italy, where I live today, we wouldn't have been able to use milk in our coffee because we couldn't refrigerate the milk up until recently. And even in Northern Europe and in Northern Italy, where they were using dairy products in the coffee, they were using fresh cream. Okay, not that doesn't go off as fast, but people just didn't have milk hanging around. They just had the fresh cream from the day, and then they would use it up as fast as possible. And coffee is definitely a drink which was very, very successful in Northern Europe, also in Lutheran countries. We'll make another video maybe one day about how coffee is connected to Lutheranism. But today we're going to stick to the cappuccino. So the reason for the name comes from this. However, there is a legend concerning a very specific Franciscan monk, a very specific Cappuccino monk, who Vienna owed a lot to. Okay, I'm going to stop pressing it. Giacomo's pointing out that he doesn't like it pressed. Okay, some Italians I know, they're just trying to, press as much coffee as possible into the machine. And like a lot of people say that you're not supposed to press the coffee in there at all. So sorry, Giacomo. Now, I'm going to put this on the fire, and then I'm going to tell you who is the famous cappuccino monk that Vienna and probably Europe owes a lot to. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. The siege of Vienna. The city of Vienna, which was strategically very important because it is an excellent position if you want to kind of dominate the Danube, which is, you know, the greatest access to Europe. I mean, the Danube has been the access point from the east into Europe since, you know, since the fall of the Roman Empire. Now we are in the late 1600s and the Ottoman Empire is taking Vienna by siege. How much sugar do you want, Giacomo? So, what were we saying? Okay, siege of Vienna. Siege of Vienna, 1683. So the Ottoman Empire has taken Vienna by siege, and Vienna is shaking in its boots, really. So we have the intervention of our special Cappuccino monk who's going to come and save the day. So Innocent the 11th, the Pope, asks Marco d'Aviano, which is a Cappuccino monk, to go and request help to aid basically the Holy Roman Empire, which is represented by the House of Habsburg in Vienna. And he goes around asking various leaders in Europe to aid in the resistance against the Ottoman Empire, because he's saying, the Pope is saying, and on his behalf, Marco d'Aviano is saying, you know, if they manage to take Vienna and pour into Europe, we're all, how do I say this? We can't say right? We're all doomed. We are doomed. Okay, so it was thanks to this Cappuccino monk who acted as a representative of the Christian church, but really acted as a politician of the time, trying to organize the resistance against the Ottoman Empire, that we were able to save Vienna. And it ended up basically with, most importantly, the coalition of Poland and Lithuania, that we were able to form this resistance. So he is trying to make the point of organizing a resistance against the Ottoman Empire altogether, going to help the Austrians basically. Okay, and it's thanks to him that this will actually happen. So the battle will be won basically by basically a collaboration of sorts between Lithuania, Poland, and the Holy Roman Empire, which is based in Vienna at this point. Okay, now it is thanks to him that we have this organization, and following this big win, we start to see people celebrating him through this cappuccino drink. So it's like the cappuccino drink is already being drunk. It's a drink which is already circulating, but it starts to become like the celebratory drink in honor of this cappuccino monk who kind of saved the day. And also because, what do you usually have with your cappuccino? Now, we don't have one here today. I'm sorry, Giacomo. I will make you breakfast later maybe, but it's not going to be the typical breakfast that you have in a bar in Italy. In a bar in Italy, you get your cappuccino. By the way, it's my favorite drink, and I've used to go to the bar all the time to have it, but then my sister-in-law gave me this, which is amazing, which is this machine that you just pour the milk into it and press the button and it makes the foam. It's really, really cool. Can you hear me over this? Okay, so this is going to be a little bit non-PC, and these are not my words, all right? But when you go and have a cappuccino in the bar, you have a croissant with it, right? The croissant is in the shape of a moon, okay, which the moon is one of the things that it is the symbol of Islam. So the concept was that you were basically you were killing the Muslim by means of the cappuccino monk when you were dunking the moon-shaped croissant in the cappuccino and eating it. All right. This was the whole idea around the celebration whilst you're having breakfast of the cappuccino monk who took down the Ottoman Empire. So I know it's not very PC, and but yeah, that's the concept. Do you get it? Just to be clear, I do not support killing any Muslims, especially not by means of cappuccino monks or hot drinks. So absolutely not what I support, just telling you the story. So, as you can see, there is a little bit of history, or if not history, kind of I think we need a little bit more foam here. I've given you too much foam and me too little. So as you can see, even when we're having breakfast, we're doing something historical, or in any case, political, or anyway, we've always got a story for everything. This is my point. And here's your cappuccino, Giacomo.